Interstate 70 here in Utah. Just a crazy rock formation. The whole landscape here is crazy. Quite an incline here. Areas along this Interstate 70, but I'm kind of in a hurry, pressed for time to get to Salt Lake City. Otherwise I'd stop and show you guys some of these scenes. Finally reached pretty close to reaching the top of the hill. Boy, that'd be a beautiful scenic area right there if I could stop. As beautiful as the scenery is, I hate to put it this way, but once you've seen it, you've seen it. And it's kind of the way I feel. I'd like to go to a lot of the historical sites and perhaps historical museums, learn more about the landscape, but as far as just seeing the landscape, I've pretty much seen it now. Montana to Arizona, New Mexico. It is a sight to see, that's for sure. Damn, I thought I was done going up the hill. I'm still going up this hill. Better time than what I'm making. Out to the side there, kind of see what it looks like over there. I think I'd enjoy that scenery more if I was like on horseback or something, maybe even four-wheeler, but I think horseback would be a little more nostalgic. And I'd like to get away from perhaps the highways or roadways. I'd like to see the landscape as it looked 150, 200 years ago. I think that would be far more exciting. But damn, I'm still going uphill. This is crazy. I have to wonder how much the landscape is altered here around the highways. Even going out 150, 200 yards, even perhaps even as far as a half a mile out from the interstates. I wonder if it's been altered or if they just dug where they had to dig. I don't know. So I kind of wouldn't trust it. Like this mountain off here to the right, did it come across further? Or did it actually just stop right there? Is that the natural slope or is that a man-made slope? I think about these things. What I'm impressed by the most is standing on the ground that people that were a lot greater than I had actually stood on. Thinking that I'm crossing the paths. I mean, even though it may not be the same dirt or whatever that somebody else walked on, I mean, wagon trains went east to west. So when I go north to south, I know I'm crossing over some of the land that they actually treaded on. Indians, to think that they actually were out here and about, I might be standing on the very same ground that they stood on. I don't know, I find that kind of majestic, I'm sure that's not the right use of that word, but I find it amazing. Those people back then had far more endurance, far more strength. They were just greater people than I, that's for sure. think, I can't help but think, how many coins, ancient coins, perhaps ancient guns. Well, let's take it one step further. How many bodies are buried out here just on this barren land that we don't know about? I have to wonder how many graves I walk on when I go hiking. Well, if I were to go hiking across this land, back in the day, they would just bury a person where they fell. Wouldn't even mark the grave. Well, it looks like we're on top of some of the mesas or something. Finally stopped going uphill. That's good. It's a nice pointy, very pointy mountain off to the right there with a red cap on it. A lot of these mountains, you can't help but believe that people have not been to the top of them simply because they're just too steep to climb. Some of these really, really large mesas that we're looking at out here, if I'm even using that term correctly, they I have to wonder if anybody's ever been to the top of them, because there's sheer cliffs all the way around them. So if somebody has been to the top, is there any dead bodies on the top of them? Climb to the top and live up there until you die, I guess. Well, looking off to the right there, and I don't think the camera can pick it up, but I see some white. I don't know if those are clouds or if that's actually, could be water, but it could also be could be like salt from the salt flats. I'm not sure how far the salt flats spread, but I can see white on the ground way out in the distance. I do see snow on peaks out there, but that's not what I'm talking about. I think I've climbed so high there coming up that mountain. I believe I was looking at some clouds, possibly. Just some low-lying clouds down in a valley off to the right there. Oh boy, I'm gonna shift this over there. There's some beautiful scenery over there. Boulders at the bottom of some of these cliff faces there, and I wonder how long they've been there. I wonder if they've just fallen in the past few hundred years, or if some of those giant boulders fell tens of thousands of years ago and are still sitting there. And when the great Ice Age came through and the glaciers carved out all these, well, I call them mesas. I don't know if that's the right use of the word. But when they carved them all out, you know, you wonder if those giant boulders were carved or displaced then, because then that would be, I don't know, what, hundreds of thousands a year ago, maybe? I don't know when the Ice Age was. Maybe it was 10,000 years ago, maybe it was 100,000 years ago, I'm not really sure. What a beautiful, beautiful country out here. All this land out here unused. Of course, I don't know if you can actually get water out here, but so many homeless people and all this open land not being used for anything. It is fenced in, and I'm not sure if that's the state that laid that fence up there when they built the interstate, or whether that is the well, I mean, I'm sure it's the state that paid for it, but I'm not sure if the farmers use it to keep animals in. But I'll tell you, I haven't seen any cows or sheep or any kind of domesticated animals. I haven't seen them out there on the wide open plains. So they might be out there. I don't see them. I have so many questions. Deep red soil. I wonder what minerals are in that soil that creates that to be a deep red. And I'm going to point you off here to the left. You'll see a mountain range that has deep red on the bottom and lighter on the top. Well, we also have it off here to the right too. You see deep red on the bottom of the mountain and lighter color on the top. Strange. Well, I'm going to end this video here.